car order. It's always been car order.
I strongly disagree.
That's the way it is. Rip him out through the window in a nice way.
Just so I can go down and drink a carton while everyone punches on.
Just pisses me to tears. That's the worst thing you can do.
You shut up, you hack. Talking about boat ramps, this is what I wanted to get through from the start. What he said.
Oh, you just been an idiot.
Welcome to the Chumming Up podcast, the fishing, spearfishing, ocean adventure podcast that's like a good dive trip because it's more enjoyable when Squirrely's not with you.
I don't know. I've thought about that one. Eh? It's good having Squirrely there.
I don't know about that.
Watch him dive down these little plastic fins with a mask full of water and go dong a big tusky.
Yeah, he did all right that time actually.
He did.
So the episode today we've got your mate Dave Daniels on with us. How you going, buddy?
Yeah, good.
Second time round.
Yeah.
We didn't quite get the first one.
Yeah. Repeat.
Repeat. We'll get a few. We're a bit better this time, hopefully. Except for that intro took about 5 or 6 turns just then to get it right, and I still didn't get it right. But we got there. We're here.
We're here.
So I reckon we'll start off with some of your latest trips, Davo. What have you been up to?
Yeah. Been doing a few trips out wide lately. Before that cyclone come down, we just had that cyclone.
That was a bit brutal, wasn't it?
It's a bit brutal out there now, eh? It's all gone to mud everywhere.
Nice and churned up. I don't think we'll be diving for a couple of weeks by the look of things.
Definitely not, I don't reckon.
I think the old fish seem to turn on when you go fishing after cyclones, either just before.
Yeah.
Like, you usually get that real calm before the storm.
Yeah.
If you fish that day, it usually goes off. And then the same as like if you get a nice day straight after a cyclone.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what it is, if they probably turn off feeding for that couple of days that comes past.
Yeah.
And then when you fish after that, man, you just load up.
Oh, wow.
I reckon every time as a kid when we fished after the thing, we'd literally bag out in a couple of hours.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, on all big reds and all kinds of stuff we'd just eat, I reckon.
Yeah, I've heard that myth before. I wasn't sure if it was a myth or if it actually...
So every time we've done it, and most times as kids growing up when the cyclone had passed past, we would always go out in the tinny and always smack it. Even if it was inshore, like just spango fishing or anything.
Yeah, right.
They must be just on the chew, I'm guessing. They don't maybe feed for that couple of times because it's all going on, but...
Yeah.
It definitely goes off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, so you did a few trips out wide,
Yeah.
chasing some yellowfin.
Yeah, yep, chasing yellowfin and, whatever else we can get. Like the odd we obviously get the dollies and that out there and the wahoo and that.
Yeah, good bit of bycatch in it.
Bit of bycatch, yeah. Pretty tasty.
Few fillets for the freezer.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the go.
And trip over the other side of the Gulf as well, just chasing the barra now. We can
Yeah, I've seen that,
barra.
good barra straight up. It took the family across, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, come across, nice little nor'easter, beautiful.
Yeah, got pounded on the way out and on the way back.
Yeah, that's it. It was worth it, but...
Yeah.
I was talking to Steph the other day and she's saying like how dirty it was. She was a bit unsure about it because it's like different over there, you know what I mean? It's completely different to like what we usually dive in the Gulf and that kind of thing. It's a bit of a different world over there, isn't it?
Yeah, you need your like little tiny roller guns and yeah,
nice and close to you.
Yeah.
A few crocodiles floating around over there as well.
Eyes in the back of your head.
Yeah, that's it. You wouldn't see them coming in that dirty water, I tell you.
No, definitely not. But yeah, no, it's something different that you can do here now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely handy. I think we'll be doing more of it. The good thing is that you get that bit of bite. If we go over there, you might be able to like land a black jewel or something like that. Would be pretty cool. So
chasing different species that we don't normally chase. So
that's
pretty
it.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely. Big black jewel on the list next, no doubt.
Definitely.
Have you shot one before?
No, I haven't got one.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you have to go across there and hunt for them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think most of the time that you find them, they'll be in those real surgy areas and they're always dirty.
Yeah.
So they are like one of the hardest probably fish to shoot, I reckon.
Yeah.
I've seen obviously a few crew have shot them here, but I reckon Leewald shot that big one. I'm not sure where he was, but I think have you seen that footage where he slaps Shay with it?
Yeah, slap Squirrely. Yeah, I've seen that.
I'm all for that. If we can get one, we'll get Squirrely back up here and we'll slap him with it.
Classic.
Oh yeah, I was just going to ask you about like you growing up. So you're obviously on the East Coast.
Yeah, grew up on the East Coast, just on the Sunshine Coast. Inland, just farmland.
Farmland, yep.
Yeah. So,
Your old man had a farm, didn't he? Or a couple farms or 3 farms?
Yeah, had a few farms, Just 2 cattle farms and avocados.
Yeah, sick.
So, yeah.
Growing up in avocados, mate.
Yeah, avocados.
The good fat, they reckon.
Yeah. Before they were trendy, but they're pretty trendy now.
They are, yeah.
Avocado.
Yeah, that's it. Has he still got those farms?
Yeah, he's still got them. Oh, he sold one of the ones, but he bought another one, like similar size with cattle on it.
Yeah, okay,
but
sweet.
Yeah, so...
How good's that? Did you get into your like diving early in days, or was it your more farm kind of stuff?
Yeah, it was more farm and motorbikes growing up, and yeah, we would do the we did a few cool trips. Like when we were young, Dad was into like doing a few like missions, so we went up to like Cape York a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, sick. Just fishing, mainly?
Fishing, yeah, and just like trying to get up to the Cape. It was back a while ago. It was like you just had to have a chainsaw and like a
to get through
lots
crazy,
of the tracks and that. I remember that
untouched kind of stuff, eh?
Yeah. But yeah, getting the odd barrows and that up that way, and then yeah, just we'd do trips up to like Dingo Beach and that each year. But yeah, mostly just the farm stuff when growing up, like motorbikes and doing all that.
A few injuries motorbiking?
Yeah, definitely broke a few bones, broke both my legs at once, which wasn't ideal.
Madness, isn't it?
Yeah.
I said everyone you pretty much talk to that had an upbringing in motorbikes has broken lots of limbs and crazy, eh? Yeah,
that's probably when I did that. I kind of started to get out of that whole scene and get more into the ocean stuff. So yeah, it was a better maneuver.
Yeah, so. Definitely. Yeah. So the East Coast, did you do much diving in the East Coast before you moved to WA?
Yeah, just we weren't far from the water where the farms were. Probably maybe 20 minutes to the ocean.
That's not too bad, yeah.
Pretty easy. And then
best of both worlds, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, good in that regard. But yeah, surfing and kite surfing and all that when I was growing up over there as well. So
yeah, it's definitely the way to go, isn't it? Yeah, especially like somewhere like Exmouth as well, because you know what I mean, most of summer howls. Yeah. So if you go kiteboarding and you obviously do foiling and that now as well, so that's another little bow to the string in it. Yeah, string to the bow.
Yeah, definitely. It's it.
Yeah, that's the go.
Something to do all the time, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's some of your best fish that you reckon you've shot?
Got a few nice reds in that, over the 10 kilos. Like I got a 13.3 locally.
Nice. Yep. They're always good, aren't they?
They are good.
Especially to be local, you know what I mean? It's not like you're punching a long way to get them as well. You can get some big reds here.
You can definitely get
I don't think it's not so much like the East Coast, but is it?
No.
They obviously get horses over there, but
yeah, they get some big ones over that way.
Yeah, especially like line caught ones, don't they? That kind of 50, 60 metres, they catch them, they're like 18 plus and crazy weights over there, eh?
I think they caught like almost a 20 kilo one or something off of Fraser.
Fraser, it is too, yeah. That's actually where I'm getting that boat from.
Yeah, right.
He's around, or he went fishing at Fraser and he's got heaps of pictures of like big reds that he's caught there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that must be the way to go. There's 1770.
Yeah, 1770. Yeah, dove off of there a bit as well.
Yeah, because everyone, like you look on the red page on Facebook and everyone just talks about that. Yeah. They're like, off 1770. Yeah. It's like, where is this place?
Yeah.
It's always like, I reckon 90% of the comments from reds come from that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's near Fraser and that, is it? Or?
Yeah, it's all Fraser, like Agnes Waters. It's like the bunker groups, all up the, it's all Great Barrier Reef sort of stuff.
Yeah, sick.
But yeah, they definitely get some good ones over there.
Yeah, that's the go, eh? And what's some of those a bit like maybe the best hunting fish or the hardest to shoot or?
Yeah, probably the hardest to shoot is the I've found over here is the Yellowlips.
Yep.
They're pretty tricky, eh? But yeah, they're kind of a pretty cagey fish, and you kind of got to try and catch them off guard, which is very hard to do, or just long breath holds hanging into the cracks and that way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, I've shot a couple. I've got one and then lost another one, ripped out. But yeah, seen some really good ones of them over here.
I think we talked about the other day about the Scott Reef ones obviously being like dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously not the size you were saying. So you were saying there's heaps up there, but they're quite dumb compared to the ones here.
Yeah, it was wild diving up there, just seeing how many cool reef fish they get on the reefs up there, but just how dumb they are and just will swim right up to you. So
crazy, isn't it?
It's insane. Totally different.
Completely different to here, isn't they?
Totally different, yeah.
They very rarely give you a shot at them here, don't they?
Yeah, but I noticed we definitely get a lot bigger like Yellowlip and that here than what they have. They've got lots of small stuff.
Yeah, because they're all dumb and just swim up to you. Yeah, like so the big ones get shot.
Yeah, probably. Lots of schools of smaller ones and that.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. But yeah, they're definitely not the smartest fish up that way. But yeah, the Yellowlip's pretty. I like hunting them, and big jobbies as well. Yeah,
they're always fun, aren't they?
They are fun.
I think there's something about the jobbies. I think just the way that they, like when when you shoot them, how hard they fight, and I mean, they're quite dirty fighters. They'll run you along the bottom, and they come up most of the time half scratched up, and
definitely
they go hard, don't they? Not a small fish, but I mean, for their weight class, they definitely punch a lot harder.
Yeah, they're very fun to hunt. They definitely love to run you on the bottom of the reef and snip your spears and that off.
Yeah.
Can't pull them up.
Do plenty of damage, don't they?
Definitely. And normally when you're hunting them, you also got to deal with the sharks around here. So that's
sharks and potato cod.
Sharks and potato cod. Yeah.
Well, every time I've gone out with you and then we've shot them, it's either sharks or potato cod trying to eat them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how big they are or how small they are.
No. Yeah. Exactly right.
Yeah,
I reckon the old potato cod are probably more scary than the sharks. It's in some regard. They just kind of come up and grab the fish and they won't let go.
No, that's it. Yeah. Especially if you are like struggling, struggling to get back to the surface, or they've taken a bit longer.
Yeah. If
they come up and get them, they don't. Yeah, it's just full dead weight as well. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And they'll just run off with it and hang on. I've seen them even like staunch out sharks. Like you have a whole bunch of sharks and
they come up, and bust them up,
and they'll just come and push them all away. And then
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, they're wild things.
They are. Yeah, they can get pretty bad as well. Even those Queensland gropers, I've dived a bit out in the Gulf there, like those shoals.
Yeah.
And some of the ones I've seen out there, they'd have to be like the size of a small car, those Queenslanders.
Yeah.
And the same thing, they just come up and staunch you.
Yeah.
Like they're going to eat you.
Yeah.
They come rushing at you going, oh, and they're heaps scarier than sharks, I reckon.
Oh, for sure.
Because you're just thinking, if it grabs me, I'm dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
not going to let go.
No, it's just going to hold me. It's going to drag me down.
Yeah, no.
And they're that big as well, When they open their mouth, you're like, man, that could thing swallow me for sure.
Yeah. They're creepy things, eh?
Yeah, they are for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so what's your biggest jobby that you shot?
I got a 12.7 kilo one.
Yeah, nice.
Last year. I got a few over 10 kilo. But the 12.7 was
That's
pretty
a big
cool.
fish, yeah. I've noticed a lot of those bigger ones that we get, they're usually are they usually breeding, they got full of roe, or have you noticed that?
The one that I didn't notice any roe in that one that I shot, but there was probably like 4 other fish that were swimming with it. They would have all been sort of over that 10 kilo mark, and they're in a group.
Yeah, righto. Because I know that when me and Lee and that used to shoot them back in the day, we would find the big schools of them.
Yeah.
And most of the time when they were schooling, you shoot them and they'd either be big males and full of food, like they'd just been eating everything, or they were the females and they're just full of roe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so they must obviously be in their breeding schools. I can't remember what time of year he said it was.
Yeah.
But I've had a few like awesome dives with him that you'd see like, 30, 40, like big suckers all over 10, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he got a couple around like the 11.7 or something like that, and I got a couple over 10.
Oh, sick.
Same day. I think we shot like 6 or something. And it was like a late arvo, like coming, just check here, and then it was just on.
Yeah, that's when it normally turns on.
Yeah.
Those late arvos.
Definitely.
Get the numbers coming out.
Yep. Yeah, they're definitely the fun. One of the funnest to shoot, I think.
Definitely.
Like to hunt, especially some of those days when it is clear water and they don't want to come in and see you.
Yeah.
So you sit on the bottom, throw a bit of dirt, or you throw your flasher, or just to get a bit of interest. But they're definitely even them swimming, just to look off them, they're sick, aren't they?
Yeah, they are cool. They're a hard fish to kind of work out too, I reckon, like to try and learn the behaviour of like how they're going to behave when you're doing a dive on them as well.
They're a bit sporadic, aren't they? Because you get some that will just stay away the whole time, not go near.
Yeah.
And then you get the big staunch ones usually that come in and go like, I'm too big to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll swim straight at you most of the time, eh?
Sometimes like those big ones can be easier to shoot than like say like an 8 kilo one.
Definitely.
Because I've had them staunch me out before, like where they'll come full staunch mode straight at
come
you.
at you and they're just like, I'm not worried about you.
Yeah.
Until you put the spear in them. But it's true that I reckon the biggest one out of the packs are usually the ones that will come and have a look at you.
Yeah.
Like like it might be like a territorial thing, or saying they are the boss in the pack or in the school.
Yeah.
And they go, I'll go in and have a look, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
No, they are fun. They're definitely a fun fish to hunt.
They are for sure. What's some of your favourite places to dive then, Davo?
Favourite places? Probably local. We kind of get a good range of everything here.
We do now that the Barra open up as well. Look out. We've got a bit of everything. We're going to be like Queensland bigos. They all shoot their Barra and that over there. Like I think it's a bit north of Queensland, is it? Or
yeah.
But they get obviously the Barra and the Mulloway and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
And then they get the good reef fish, the mackies. They kind of get a bit of everything. And now we're kind of been opened up finally.
Yeah, finally got opened up there. But yeah, it's definitely probably a bit harder for the guys over east for going for the blue water stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. It's a long way out there, isn't it? Even to the reefs, like the Great Barrier Reef, and that's a long way to travel out there, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that is a bit. It's the Great Barrier Reef's not too bad, but just getting out to like the deeper stuff. So like if you wanted to like try and shoot blues and yellowfin and all that, it's kind of a bit more of a mission for them. So to get to that sort of stuff.
On like the reef, there's anywhere you can actually like camp. Is there islands all the way along it, or is it all just open reef there?
No, there's heaps of cool little islands up there that you can island hop and camp at.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually really beautiful camping up there for all the islands and that.
Yeah,
and then
sick.
you can base from the island and scoot out. But yeah, to do those really long runs where they're going way out the back, that's a bit more of a mission. You kind of it's just kind of reef that comes up maybe to that sort of that 20 meter stuff and then rolls right away again. So there's not much to hang out on
that's
for
it.
the night out
You
there.
need some good weather to be able to anchor up or whatever.
Definitely,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, locals, I definitely like local diving here. It's probably some of the favourite stuff that I've had.
That's why you locked yourself in here, haven't you?
Yeah, that's
You realise you got a
right.
good place when you can do a bit of everything, eh?
Yeah, definitely. That is very handy. But yeah, and then also just, it's still classed as WA waters, but Scott Reef, I did a trip out there with Chaz on Karma.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really cool. We were mainly trying to chase the doggies and that, but we got a couple of doggies, nothing massive. I shot one that got shark. That was probably the bigger one that I shot at the start of the trip. And then, we got a few smaller ones, like in the 30 to 25 kilo mark.
Yeah. Still good fish, yeah.
Yeah, but just mainly the reef diving there was unreal.
Unreal, yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
So, like we were saying, just the numbers of cool reef fish that just super friendly and you can swim around with them. And
that's it, eh?
Yeah.
Did you shoot many moo and that? They got moo there?
Yeah, all that sort of
So
stuff.
they're pretty
eh?
cool. I've obviously seen a few here, never shot them.
Yeah,
Only like the smaller ones and that, and like Lee kind of showed me that kind of side of it.
yeah,
Because I would never have known that stuff was there, you know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
like, that's the midnight snapper there. I was like, oh, that's pretty sick, you know what I mean? Like, it's just stuff you'd probably swim through it.
yeah.
If you didn't know that, you'd swim through it and see him a million times, you know what I mean? And not think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because they look a bit weird underwater.
Have
like
you seen Midnight Snapper in Exmouth?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lee
right.
showed me one, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we shot it. I think it was real hard to get near.
Yeah, right.
But he shot a mood the day I went out with him. That's when I first realised, like, oh, that's what they are. Because I've heard people on spearfishing like, over East and that,
Yeah,
they always froth about them and talk about them.
yeah.
And then I see them, they're shooting these tiny little things. I'm like, I don't know about that. But, obviously, I think they're really good eating as well, are they?
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've shot a few local here as well, moo.
Yeah, okay, yep.
But yeah, they're really tasty, eh?
Yeah.
And yeah, up there is like you're saying, we don't get hardly any really here. It's super rare to kind of see the moo here, but yeah, up there it's insane. There's that many moo.
Yeah. Sick. It's just, I think it's just because there's that massive shoal in nowhere, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just in the middle of nowhere.
Is Scott Reef obviously in between like Indo and Australia, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Because I've seen
they get all the indongs and that out there.
they do, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing to see. Those guys are some amazing seamen that go across there, like sail all the way to Indo. They're not meant to, I don't think, use motors and that, but they do have dodgy little setups.
Yeah. Well, they're mainly just wooden boats as well, aren't they?
Like these little wooden boats with like the dodgiest sails that are like tied together with like fishing line. And, they're only just hanging in there, and they're out.
They're
there,
a long way from home as well. That's
way.
craady, when you think about it. A bit of, you know what I mean? And they probably wouldn't use the technology that we use, as in like weather forecasts and stuff like that. Man, they're just winging it. They're like, oh, we'll get a bit of wind out there, hopefully. You know what I mean, to get there.
Yeah.
Bit of wind on the way home, we'll swing it around.
Yeah, it is super wild. It was actually pretty cool to see that side of it as well.
Yeah, but did you see a few of them up there?
Yeah.
Are they allowed to fish there then?
No, they're only meant to be doing the like slugs. They mainly there for getting slugs, but they get all random bits and pieces, and they like just dry them all out on the decks of their like wooden boats and that. And they just have everything out in the sun and salt it all, and then they're literally sleeping. There's like five or six of them on a boat, and they're tiny boats, and they're just sleeping on the hard wooden floors in the boats for I don't know how long they're out there for, probably like a month at a time or whatever they're out there for.
Crazy, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty insane to
Think
see.
of us, we like have a couple of days in the swag and we're like, I'm over this.
I know, yeah.
They're on the ocean. Imagine some of the seas they get as well, and they're like trying to sleep in it.
Yeah.
Crazy,
definitely. I don't know how many of them actually don't make it back.
Oh, there'd be plenty, I reckon, yeah.
And you just wouldn't hear about it.
No, that's it, yeah. As soon as they're out of Australian waters, it's probably, or even if they are in Australian waters, they're not going to get detected most of the time, are they? Because they're so
got
small.
Nothing. Yeah, just be sunk. They're gone.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. That is mad, eh?
Yeah, it's wild.
What sort of other reef fish do you see at Scott? Do you I think I might have...
You get the, like all those buffaloes.
Yeah, they're something I'd love to... I reckon they look sick.
Yeah, they're tricky, eh? I haven't been managed to be able to get me spear into one of them, but
so they're real hard to hunt as well then?
They were, and I only seen 2 when I was diving up there. But yeah, they kind of pretty tricky. The one that I got close to was out of there, like close, not shooting distance, but like, yeah, he was kind of, they're pretty cluey, and they're in shallower, when I was seeing them, they're in kind of shallower water as well.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Maybe if you were out deeper and you weren't diving just for doggies and you were just focusing and looking for something like that, you probably maybe have a better chance of getting one.
Yeah. I wonder if that is something, because, you know, like you see like the blueies and that in the Gulf, and if it's shallow, they're usually like right onto you.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you like dive that 20 ground and like the 25 ground, and they're swimming along the edge. This is so dumb.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like they don't realise you're there, or they haven't seen as much maybe spears go past their heads, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, because, you know, the shallow blueies and all that, they're like, I'm out of here as soon as they see you.
Definitely, yeah.
But then like the ones you get in that deep stuff, they're just like moseying along. They're not worried about you at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely noticed that.
I wonder if that would be similar with them, you know what I mean? Like if you did see them out in that bit deeper water.
Yeah, if you're just doing some deeper drops looking down the bottom, you might probably have a good chance of
yeah.
getting
Because they're like on edge or something, you know what I mean? If that shallow water.
Yeah, they're just
probably in a bit of a...
Yeah, you kind of spot them and they're kind of close, but then they're boosted before you even get a chance to have a
line up to them, yeah. I think you said you get some of those rusty jobfish as well.
Yeah, rusty jobfish.
Get the massive big jaws on them, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. No, they're cool. Yeah, we get them over east, obviously, as well.
Yep.
And you get all like the Murray sea perch.
Oh yeah, they're good to hunt as well, eh? What do they like to hunt there?
Yeah, ptarmigan as well.
Are they really?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, they're just swimming around. You get all those what are they called? The Murray wrasse as well. The big wrasse.
Because you're allowed to shoot them as well there, aren't you?
No, you're not allowed to shoot them there. Yeah, but they're cool just to see. And swim around.
Pretty cool looking fish, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I think I've seen that fella on Facebook shoot one of them. What was his name?
Yeah, big sucker, hey.
Was it Cooper?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Oh, I can't remember his name, yeah. I seen him, obviously, post it, and then obviously all the greenies got on there. And then he posted again the other day with tagging some like bird that had like kind of posted him with the fish going, I can't believe you've shot this, it's endangered, and this massive big spiel, and then he reposted it with her, like tagging her in it and saying maybe get your facts right before you start accusing people. And so, and you're going to get that, I think, with like fish like that. Yeah. It's the same kind of thing you see in GameX when people weigh these big blue marlin that in. Yeah. Because people go, oh, how, you can't believe that you've killed that thing, you know what I mean? It's like, look how big it is, imagine how old it is. It's like, man, that thing's like 20 years old. It's nothing.
Yeah, exactly right.
These people catching these black brim and that in the rivers that are 50 years old when they're like 50 centimetres or 40 centimetres, you know what I mean? Yeah. So definitely. Yeah, I don't know if you can go off the size of fish a lot of the time, you know what I mean? Yeah. Especially like your pelagics, because they're obviously fast growing. They pretty much eat everything they see.
Yeah, no, definitely,
But yeah, so it was quite funny reading all the comments on that, because you get like a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. It's probably not these days. It's probably like a 20-70. Not in our favour.
Yeah, I know, exactly right.
You know what I mean? Back in the day, it would be like, who cares what they think? And now it's like, oh, I'm going to hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah. Everybody's worried about feelings these days.
Yeah, it's crazy, eh?
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what, even like the, I think they're doing weigh-ins for like tiger sharks and that, weren't they?
Yeah, so Leewald would be an awesome one to get on, because he obviously in GameX would target the sharks. Yeah. Because they're awesome point scoring, and then he'd go around and get all the line classes and species and that kind of thing. I think that's what they used to do. Yeah. And I think he's got runner-up twice. One of them was like 1 point or something like that. Leewald probably would correct me on that, but I know it was super close. Like, it was crazy. You know what I mean? The amount of fish they catch, and it comes down to 1 point in that whole thing. Yeah, right. But yeah, he used to string the big tigers and the hammers, and I think Rob Mitchell, which is Lee's old man, busted all these ligaments in his hand and all that, leadering I think it was like a 10-foot hammer. Yeah, right. Because they got it to the tip, and then he's obviously got the 200 or however thick the leader is, and wrapped it around like trying to get this thing in, and it's obviously gone berserk. It just pretty much crushed his hand. Oh, they end up getting it in, but.
Yeah, sweet.
So they put his life on the line for it. But yeah, the few times they've had the, I think that's when they had Pussy Galore, the 7 metre leisure cat.
Oh, yeah.
That thing was a weapon, but he used to obviously fish all the comps in that.
Yeah.
And I think that's when he ended up doing the props. I may be wrong, but he done the gearboxes on the two Honda 225s on it. It was dead low tide, and they were at Tanabiddy, and they had the tiger through the back door, like the dive door. So it's obviously had heaps of weight on, and the only way they could get on the trailer was obviously just power it on. And obviously on at Tanabiddy there, it's just all rock pretty much. Yeah, you know what I mean, on the low tide, super hard to get in at the best of times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he minced all these props and gearboxes and everything, just trying to get this thing on. And then they lost by one point. I think it was that year.
Brutal.
Yeah, so it was a bit harsh. He'd probably listen to this and not be too happy about me mentioning it. He'll probably question me about that midnight snapper as well. No, it wasn't. And I'll be like, I don't know. That's what I remember.
Probably do if you get the moo.
The moo, yeah. So there was one little spot that he took it to, and it was pretty sick to actually like have a look at the swim throughs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's when he obviously showed me the moo, and I'm pretty sure it was a midnight snapper he showed me, eh?
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but because I not like I said, I haven't really seen many of them or been diving with them. So
yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a cool little like different side to diving, for sure.
No, definitely.
Yeah. We might give old Squirrel Dog a call, eh?
Yeah.
Get him on, see if I can get this thing worked out. I've got the speaker up this time as well.
Could you not hear us last time?
No, I couldn't hear him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hello.
G'day, Squirrel Diggy.
Oh, hey, what's happening?
How you going, mate?
Got Dave over here with us, mate.
Big horse. Good to hear from you for the first time ever.
Round two.
I did mention it. My little. It took me about 7 times to get the little intro right. I just had to keep pressing record, stop, record. Dave was off. He was about to take off.
Fucking, I thought they called you first take Jarby.
Yeah, I don't know about that, big horse. Not when the old mic's in front of me and Dave was looking at me going, just get it right, mate.
Nah,
yeah,
it's hard work, on the spot.
Junior.
Yeah. It was pretty much like that, eh?
Yeah, right. I'll tell you a story from this week then, like similar path. So I took Elise to a comedy show for Fringe.
Yep.
Like she's right into like piano. She plays used to play like concert piano sort of thing. So me mate was doing a show with stand-up comedy and like proper piano, like some concert thing.
Yeah, okay.
So bought her tickets to that, and I was like, oh, don't worry, after the show I'll take you to meet him. Like show was sick.
Yeah.
Like the bloke stayed at my house like in 2020. I took him like diving and shit like that.
Yeah, okay.
And then go up to him. I'm like, mate, great show. All the rest, like with her right there, and he just fully blanks me.
You're kidding me.
Oh.
That's something I would do.
Yeah. Like we had a party at my house when he was staying there, and stopped Beebs and Reese. I walked in the house and they had the cray loop. They were sneaking into his room because they saw a person there and we were trying to catch him. I saved this bloke's life.
You sure there's not more to that story, Squirrely? Like you've obviously done something to him.
Nah. Well, that was the funny thing, because Elise's friend went tonight, so she's just messaged us because Elise told her, you know, like at the end of the show, just go up to him and mention Squirrely and see if he remembers the name.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the show, he asked everyone like where they heard about the show, and the chick goes, my friend Squirrely told me. And he goes, Squirrely, I love that guy, King of X.
You're kidding me.
Nah.
Maybe it's just once he sees your lid, he's like, I don't want to borrow this.
Yeah, it must have gotten worse.
It's one of these fanboys. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And he's brought his missus.
Yeah, that was it. It was the full like power play. Like, yeah, I know all these guys, and then nothing.
Just burnt you.
Yeah, that was about it.
Straight to the bar.
Yeah. Nah, but it's been a big week. I got out crabbing yesterday, so we had a crab feed today. That was all right.
Did you bag out?
Not really. Got enough, though.
It's a yes or a no, mate.
Yeah, well, it's a no then.
Oh, that's better.
He didn't take his shopping bag.
No. Yeah, the old the Coles cooler bag. That's the issue, mate. You didn't take it with you.
Yeah, that was it. Well, we had like the niece and nephew and the 4-year-old niece, she asked why crabs bite us. And I was like, because they hate our way of life. They hate our freedom. So
I don't know how I feel.
I reckon just con them young.
I don't know how I feel about you going to my spots I've showed you, just rape and pillaging.
No, it's 50 metres away from
you're doing a Kate on me. Aren't you? You're going on my sounder, you're finding all my good red marks, and then you're marking fish off 5 metres to the side and putting Cade's mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about
Cade's
right.
red spot.
It runs in the family, I think.
Yeah. I honestly, I've realised it's way easier doing it that way.
Oh, 100%. I'm with you. I'll be doing the same thing. Don't worry. There's no point there's no point doing the hard yards when you can just do something like that.
No, that's it. I might start a fishing page just like that.
There's a few people around your area that you could probably mingle with.
Yeah, a few spot pingers.
Yeah, what are they? What do they call them when they all is it collab or whatever they call it when they're all together? They're fantastic, aren't they? You know what I mean? Instead of you being able to do it on your own, you literally tag every man and his dog in that's doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, you get the same people just watching their own stuff.
Yeah, I'm all
like
for
a
it.
circle jerk.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing it with
my
Davo, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Just tagging him and whoever else wants to get tagged in it.
I got no good marks anyway.
Oh, what about me,
I
Dave?
don't know about that.
I've been pinging all these marks, he just doesn't know yet. No.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
I want to hear
that
this.
is the problem, isn't it?
What's that?
How much easier it is to ping marks than what it used to be.
Oh, 100%, eh?
It sort of made it a lot more, like, acceptable. You know, like people talk about, you know, pinching other people's marks a lot more now than what they used to.
Well,
like,
it was nearly impossible back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, like I remember someone brought a GPS.
Yeah, I was going to bring this up with Blue Horry.
Yeah, and Steve waited because he kept going to his bag, and then Steve waited till he moved and went in his bag, grabbed his GPS and threw it over the side. So,
that's the way it should be, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, a lot of people don't even have any shame in it now. They just straight up tell you, like, oh, yeah, I got it on my watch.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Especially the watch thing. It's like you don't even have to pull a phone or anything out anymore. You can just have it on a watch and just press a button and it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's wild.
It's crazy,
I
eh?
think you can even, somebody was telling me the other day, you can, even on your iPhone, if you take a photo of somebody holding a fish,
You can get the Latin longs.
You can actually get Latin long
I've
from
heard
a picture.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I know, I talked to Cade Brown a while back. Hopefully these boys don't listen into this, but he took some fella out and he, this fella loves his photography or whatever. And apparently Kay got this donkey dewey and they just smacked it all day. And he's holding this big 18-kilo dewey up or something, and this fella takes a photo. And he turns it around and shows Cade, and it's got the Latin long or the little symbol or whatever it is that it says that it's recording, like the location.
Oh,
so then
shit.
Cade's just obviously gone off the handles at him, like, you're bloody stealing me spots, and he's he tried to backtrack. I'm sure that's probably what he was trying to do, but he probably didn't realise that Cade was onto it with the, you know what I mean, what the marking on the bottom, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but he said he knew straight away as soon as he seen the photo that old mate had got the Latin long off it.
Yeah, lucky he doesn't have a short fuse too.
Yeah, I don't think the old fella come back, so at least he won't be listening.
Yeah, that's it. Oh,
he just went out solo fishing that day.
Yeah.
Just a bit of, just like the latest trips that Davo's been doing. What else we talked about? A bit of favourite fish to shoot, places.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we talked about, Davo. We thought we'd leave the sketchiest moments for you, Squirrel Dog.
Yeah, right.
As to know that you've put a 60-footer on Neuron's Island. You know, you've done a bit of the sketchier stuff. Are you going to tell Davo about that? I don't know if he's heard about that one, has he?
I want to hear some of the sketchy stories.
That was a good one. So the boat on the island, I think that one's probably long enough. I think the funniest one was Steve running over Ningaloo Blues tender, you know, like whale sharking.
Yeah, that's a ripper.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think we've mentioned it here before, but I'm sure Davo would love to hear it.
Yeah. So, you know how the whale sharks tow the tenders behind them?
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve used to, drive straight at them so that they would have to, take off real quickly.
Yeah.
And then
In a
one day,
60-footer.
Or what was?
yeah, in the
In the Blue
60-footer.
Horry.
Oh, for fishing.
In the Blue
When
Horry.
he was fishing.
No, when he was doing whale sharking.
Oh, when he was.
So just
Yeah.
for fun, he would launch. He would chat like go down on the boat. So he starts launching towards these little tenders, and then he, as a
Yeah.
game, he would, and then they would quickly go, "Oh, I got to get out of here,"
Yeah,
and they would
right.
scoot off.
Yeah. Yeah, except one time they didn't see him coming, and he just stoved the tender, smashed the outboard to pieces,
Oh,
and
that's
he
wild.
just looked at me and he's like, "They didn't move."
Just run him over with a 60-footer.
Yeah,
I'll sort him out.
yeah. I went over in the piss with the outboard a couple times. That one I was more scared of wrecking the outboard, so I nearly drowned holding it above my head, sort of thing.
Is that when you used to put get the tender and then get like the people off, or?
Yeah. Except this time we were like prepping. I think it was for a cyclone, but we're at Bundegi, like just getting everything down and that. And Salmonhead was holding the rope,
Yep.
so it wasn't like tense on the thing. And then like I've jumped in the boat, and then he's let go of the rope, and it's just like slingshot. And I've gone in the piss, but held the outboard above my head, and I've managed to get like the leg to hold on to the tinny.
Yeah.
But then I'm still like drowning underneath the thing, just pissing out blood everywhere.
How good, eh?
Yeah,
These sketchy ones there.
yeah. But I can't think of too many other ones. We had the wave and everything else like that, but yeah, probably a lot more clangers.
What was the 60-footer up on the beach?
Yeah, that might have been my fault.
Whose story? You want me to tell him the truth, or do you want to tell him your one?
Oh, you can tell him whatever you want. Yeah,
I've already told the whole town whenever it happened 20 years ago. So
yeah. I don't know. Well, I reckon it might be a bit long to repeat the whole thing. Maybe
Yeah, I know.
maybe listen to the first clangers, and
yeah,
I think it's on there.
I'll get him onto that. That was
Yeah,
a cracker,
I'll
wasn't
listen
it?
to
Yeah.
What about you, Davo? You got any sketchy moments? I think we briefly touched on it, as in like the sharks and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm sh- we-
mainly.
I've seen it. I've been there a few times when we've had some sketchy moments, but I'm sure
Yeah.
you've had many more.
Yeah, the sharks. The sharks are probably one of the sketchy things that you got to deal with around here. Just diving. I've had one on the back of Tanner's there. One time I was just diving with one of my mates on the back, Reese, and we were just diving for Yellowlip, and we had a whaler come out of nowhere. I was actually doing a drop down, and it just came and actually had to try to have a bite of my leg, and I didn't see it, but I got hit on the leg and I had a big bruise. I thought Reese had actually swam down and hit me with the back of his dive knife or something. I didn't know what had happened.
Bloody Reese, I tell you, can't trust him.
I was like, he might be trying to tell me something. I don't know. And I like turned around and I just seen the whaler right there. And yeah, apparently Reese seen it all happen. It was actually the nose of it that hit me in the leg, and it left a big like egg on my leg.
But obviously,
Yeah, right.
But he
But-
mentioned them had it mouth
But
open,
yeah,
didn't it?
Reese was on the surface, and he thought he's like, oh, Dave's definitely been bit. He was like, oh, he
Yeah.
had his leg bit, like, because it came in with its mouth open and tried to bite my leg, but just missed because it hit me with the sharp point of its nose. You know how the whales have got that bit more of a pointy nose. It just hit me right on the leg, and yeah, just got lucky there. But it actually turned. It was like a mangy looking thing. Like I turned as soon as it hit me. I was like, "Whoa, it was a shark!" It just had a crack at my leg, and it left my leg and literally swam full noise at Reese and was trying to bite Reese on his fins.
It was smacking his fins, wasn't it?
Fully
Yeah.
going his fins, and I just swam straight up and actually managed to get between Reese and the shark, and yeah. Possibly swam away a bit more mangy than what it came, but yeah, it was pretty wild. But that was actually the day before, there'd been a lady that had been bit on I think it was on a bum or on somewhere on one of the whale shark boats off the back of the reef there. They were just whale sharking, and she'd actually been bit. So probably a coincidence, but yeah, that was pretty wild. It's just one of those mangy, wild looking sharks that come come from nowhere.
Yeah, that's
But
it.
I've
It's
had a
usually
few,
those ones that are the ones that are going to take a bite as well, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've had a,
Yeah,
had
right.
a few close ones like that.
Even that
Tigers and
what about that oceanic white?
that oceanic white, yeah.
That was pretty
that was-
crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, just dive in, and I was actually lining up a jobby, and a flea bit me on my fin. When I was down, I was kind of a bit deeper on the dive as well, and that was pretty wild. It had a crack on my fin, and then I was swimming up, and then I think Jarby seen it from the top, and he's like, "Oh, that shark was having a crack at you," and I was like, "Yeah, it like literally bit me when I was down there."
Yeah,
and
and
it kept going like for me on the way
followed
up.
you all the way up, didn't
I
it?
had
Yeah.
to get jab it.
Because I remember you jumping in the boat, and I hadn't worked out it was an oceanic white yet.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like a big bully, because there's heaps of obviously bullies there.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
when it came up to the surface, I was like, and then obviously seeing its fin, I was like, man, that's the ocean. You're like, yeah, I know. It tried to kill me on the bottom. And I was like, I'm getting in the boat as well. I don't know. We tried it. There was a couple of dudes that we knew that were diving up from us, and we went up to them just to warn them. We're like, hey, there's a oceanic whitey, and just to let you know, if you want to get out of the water, you can. If you don't worry about it. But it wasn't in a friendly mood when we seen it either, was it?
No.
We hadn't even shot anything,
shit.
so
No,
it wasn't
I
like we
hadn't
had
shot.
shot anything to get it amped up. It just come
Aggravated.
in hot, which I've seen a few of them now, and most of the time they are like that. They're real sporadic. They're not. They can be real calm sometimes, but most of the time you see them, they're just all over the show.
Yeah, definitely. They're a hard one to read, those.
Yeah,
Those
you
oceanic
remember that one in the marina, Squirrels?
Yeah,
That
that's pretty much the only time I've seen one.
Yeah, I don't think many people believe me when I tell them that story.
Yeah, right.
'Cause it's just
well,
that
it is
thing-
a crazy spot.
Well, yeah, like it's obviously they're usually ocean, like deep water.
Yeah, when it's blue water, like if I'm diving like on the back, like out sort of in the 35s in the back of the reefs and that,
Yeah.
and it's really blue, I'll see those
Yeah, they're
oceanic
nice,
whites coming.
clean water come in
Yeah.
with them. They probably just push in from out deep, because I've seen them out obviously at the fads a few times.
Yeah.
Just those shallow fads off like the northern tip and that. I think they're that big fuel tank they had there for a while, and there's
Yeah.
a few other bits and pieces. But
Yeah.
I've seen them out there before, but I've never seen them except for that time we had them in the marina. So as kids we were fishing,
Oh wow!
and we used to go there and catch cod and that, like catch these the live brim and put live brim on hand lines and catch these massive cod off the north wall.
Yeah, off the North Wall,
It was
yeah.
the sickest
Yeah.
time as kids. The olds would let us go, and then we just go fishing pretty much all day. And then this one time, I can't remember exactly how we seen it come in, but we end up seeing it like it had its fin out the water. We're like, that's the oceanic white, because it just had the obviously proper round fin and the kind of frosting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it took a bait
Yeah,
and was swimming on the surface with the dorsal.
Yeah, we
out.
threw the whole.
Uncle Muzz was there too.
Yeah, he was too. We threw the whole live brim at it. Remember?
Yeah,
So we had like these tiny little rods,
yeah,
like mainly just to catch the brim, and then we'd handle on these things. And then so we obviously we seen it. I think we end up seeing it somehow before that squirrely. And we end up hooking the live brim in it and just casting out in one of these little tiny rods we had. And then this thing come up and just took it.
oh,
Like come up and just monstered them. We're like, that definitely an oceanic white. And then it just obviously, I think it just peeled us off and snapped us off within a matter of seconds probably. But
right.
yeah, it swam like sideways with the wall.
Yeah, it was
sort
pretty
of
cool.
thing, so you
Pretty
got-
cool to see,
Got
eh?
a pretty good look.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to see in that dirty water in the Gulf, like in the pretty much mouth of the marina.
Yeah,
We've seen it, so
Yeah, you can only think it like near the tip and sort of followed a trawler in or something like that.
yeah, definitely it must
Along
have.
them
Eh?
times.
Yeah, even if the trawlers might have been working up like more towards like Murons or something like that, and it's a bit of clear water out there, and it's followed them back from there. Because you see some of those footage of those, when they're coming back into the amount of sharks that actually follow them, it's crazy, eh?
Yeah, I love them.
What else you got, Squirrel? You got anything for us?
Not a lot. I watched. I might have mentioned it before, the Eat the Invaders show with Tony Armstrong.
Yeah, you did. We'd love to hear the story again.
Yeah, hear the story for the first time. No, they had an episode on carp, about eating carp, and how we should be eating that. And they had this fisherman who catches carp in nets, and to keep them stress-free, he tickles them, like on the belly.
Puts him to sleep.
Yeah, well, he reckons it stops them releasing a stress hormone, and that stops them getting that muddy taste.
Yeah,
So
right.
Yeah, okay.
maybe you need to tickle your fish.
Need to tickle the sharks as well, I reckon, eh?
Yeah, David reckons tickle the
Yeah.
sharks.
Make them good eating.
That
Means we can eat
that
them.
might be the go. Well, it might
Whatever.
might even de-stress them when they're coming at you. You don't even have to do that send-off that all the Instagram people do. You just give it a tickle.
Did you see that one the other day that do the tiger?
Oh,
He's like
yeah,
swimming up to it, and then he's like his head's near it, and then it just goes like, oh,
Yeah.
like,
That was close. Eh?
oh man, that was close, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you read the caption?
I didn't.
No, so he was diving down with his eyes closed. That's why he got so close to its head.
Yeah, okay.
No way.
He felt like the mouth come over his head and like
Whoa.
last minute like put his hand out. Otherwise, he would have been done.
Wow.
How was it, eh?
That's insane.
There's a big
Yeah.
tiger as well, eh?
That was, yeah.
I used to do that all the time too. The close your eyes on the way down,
Yeah.
and then I opened them once when I was near the bottom, and this bull shark was like right in my face, and I shat myself, and the bull shark shat itself, and
Yeah.
Leewald pissed himself laughing.
I've seen Leewald do the same thing because we used to always do it. Is like the first 10 meters or whatever it is, close your eyes and just relax and swim down. And I watched him one day. It was super clear in like 20 or 25 or something. He was swimming down in this massive big lemony.
Yeah.
You know, do that rush.
Yeah,
and I was seeing it like smashing up towards him, and I was like, he's got his eyes closed because he hadn't done a thing. And then like the last second, he opens his eyes, and this thing's like in his face, and then just goes like that full turn. And you can just see him just full shits himself, and then you just kind of lose yourself laughing. Like at least he didn't die, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're shocking, those lemon sharks, eh?
Yeah, the lemonies are shockers when you're diving, aren't they?
Yeah. They're meant to be the
Yeah,
most
they're probably the
placid
most.
one.
Yeah.
Like, people say that's what they say, but diving, you definitely notice that.
I reckon like the fishing side of things they would be because like every time you catch a lemony, they're just the dumbest things. They grab hold of your fish, they don't fight at all.
Yeah.
Like you can drag them to the surface and they kind of just roll around a bit, and then they might give you a run at the surface when they see you.
Yeah.
But it's just like rather than just snap me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just dragging them like you're in 80 meters where you pull this lemony up and you're just like, why didn't you just bloody bite through the hook?
Yeah. But I reckon a lot of people mix them up with those tawny nurse sharks as well.
Yeah, I reckon as well. They're
That's
very
probably
similar, aren't they?
Yeah. And those are like placid as shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've caught the same tawny nurse shark on charter fucking 6 times in a row. Like one person's pulled it up, I cut it off. Next person pulled it up. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Just kept on coming.
Yeah, just don't care. It's like, oh, well, same food. Ooh, food.
That's it. I'll just have a crack at that.
Yeah. So.
No, good stuff. I think we'll talk about Addie's little episode.
Oh yeah, the other day.
Yeah. So I think we're going to try and get them on for a pod, Benny and
Yeah,
Addie.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I think we'll just get David to tell us his like side of that story of what he's seen and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, just was going to touch on like the shallow water blackout thing really because the other day Addie had a bit of a shallow water blackout when we were diving. Me and him were paired up together, and yeah, he had one where he was just diving. He shot like a red and was coming up, and I'd swam down to grab the fish because I seen him swimming up. And I was like, I think he's probably like he looked like he was kind of maybe struggling a little bit, kind of kicking. I seen him release his reel, and I was like, he's needing a bit of help. So I swam down and grabbed the line to help pull up the fish. And then, I hadn't even got to the surface and he was sinking down straight past me and I managed to grab him.
Crazy, yeah.
I think he sunk to he was only like 1.5 meters back down under from when he got to the top. But yeah, it was actually surprising seeing how quick somebody can re-sink again once they have like exhaled air or whatever.
Well, that's what it is. I think it's just they've got no air in their system, eh?
Yeah.
It's not they haven't taken that breath in to actually keep them that little bit buoyant.
Yeah.
So they pretty much just do rocket, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, he was going quick when I grabbed him, and I grabbed him, brought him back up, and then obviously just pulled his mask off and told him to breathe and that. But yeah, that was pretty wild. I called out to Ben and Reese because they drifted off a bit, and they came over in the boat, and Ben jumped in the water and gave us a bit of a hand to pull him up on the side of the boat, and then he ended up coming to on the side of the boat. But yeah, he was out for a little while there, for probably like 30.
Yeah,
30
Yeah, it's
seconds
just
or
a
so.
scary moment, that, isn't it? Until they kind of come to, and then you go, oh, he's back. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking the worst in a way. Like you're just going, come on.
Yeah, it feels like forever in the moment when it's happening. But yeah, that it can happen pretty easy. It's touch. Yeah, you go. Sorry, Squirrely.
No, I was just going to ask, were you like close to out of breath bringing him back up? I'm assuming that'd be a fair effort.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't a super long dive. I just kind of swam down to maybe sort of like 10. We'll dive and
right.
I'll probably swam to like sort of 15 maybe and grab the line. But yeah, we'll dive in sort of like that 27s, and kind of just pulled him. It wasn't a long dive, just pulling the fish up and then grabbed him, and then it was not too bad, but it was just really choppy on that day, so it was actually kind of tricky trying to keep his head above the water and like make sure his mouth and everything's shut, like so he's not getting water down his lungs and that.
Yeah,
like,
that's it. Yeah,
keeping his head up and like put his goggles off and that. But yeah, it feels like forever when it happens. It definitely feels like a long time waiting for somebody to come to.
Yeah, that's it. Hey.
But yeah, it's happened to me as well before. I've had a couple now, like one that was quite bad where we're diving sort of 25s, and I wasn't actually meant to be diving that day, and I was just on the boat fishing because I was sick, so it was a bad manoeuvre from the start. But the boys were shooting some good fish.
We've all done it, Big Horse, haven't we? We're going like we should. I feel horrid today, but the boys are getting fish. Well, I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a fine line, feeling the body and knowing where the actual point of that blackout's going to happen.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
the hard point to work out. But yeah, I blacked out that day. It was dirty. We weren't using float lines or anything. It was actually a bit of a miracle because I'd actually sank. I'd come back up. Nobody seen me come back up, and then I was sank back down.
Shit.
I'd actually sank back down to sort of 8 meters or so before Clay had actually even seen me. One of my mates, Clay, was diving with us at the time. I'd actually told him, just watch me because I'm going to have a dive and I don't feel good. And I had a few dives before that and I felt fine. And I was like, I feel good. But then I actually shot a fish, and then, I remember shooting the fish and coming back up. And then I don't remember hitting the surface. I don't know if I did or not. But yeah, Clay just seen me at 8 meters, grabbed me at 8 meters and swam me up to the top, and I was out for a minute and a half. I was on
Crazy.
On the deck of the boat and had water on the lungs and that, coughing up all the white fluid and that. So
you stayed in hospital for a night, that one as well, but didn't you?
Yeah, I stayed in hospital overnight for that one. I was on oxygen.
Yeah. Because usually, I think, obviously, our other mate, Pemba, had the shallow water blackout as well, and they, I think they scan you or they do an X-ray or something, don't they? Just see if you got oxygen, got water on your lungs.
Water on your lungs and that, they check for all that.
Yeah, so then obviously, if you do have it, then most of the time that you'll get pneumonia, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they usually dose you up with antibiotics, like kind of stop things. You'll still get it, but it will obviously stop the severity of it in a way,
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So,
That's heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, but yeah, it can happen pretty easy. Yeah, the definitely diving with a dive buddy, like making sure you got a good dive buddy that you can dive with. Been diving with Jarby lately. It's definitely a good dive buddy to have, so it's been pretty handy. But yeah, making sure you have a good dive buddy, and also the use of float lines. Like, I know float lines are pretty old school, but I think it's definitely a lot safer way of diving. And we've been doing that day we were diving with Addy. We'd actually, Ben brought a Rife Spectra float line, and we just clipped a little marker float. I've been doing that a little bit even with my mate Clay when we go diving if it's dirty, just so you can relax and you can kind of keep an eye at where the person's at. It's not actually clipped to the gun. We've just been clipping it to our belt, and it's just like a little marker float. So like you can swim down, you can kind of see it if you're diving, say in your 30s or even in your 20s, and it's really dirty. You can still see where that person is at, from the surface. You can maybe see where the marker bobble float is. Not a big float, so you don't have heaps of drag and that. We actually, the best one I'd used, Clay made up a one with some 200 pound marlin mono. Your mono, and just with a little marker bobble, and that worked really good, no drag, and it was pretty handy. But clipping it to we've got little D-rings on our belts, and we've just been clipping it to that if it's dirty.
So how far do you have the marker buoy like up? Like say in the mono, is it like 10 meters long or whatever like that? Or
normally we make them like sort of 20 meters.
Yeah.
Like, and then if it's on the surface,
it doesn't matter anyways.
But normally it's always under. But you kind of see the marker bobble say down at like 10 meters.
Yeah, that's
or
good.
Whatever. They can kind of make out the bobble.
Yeah, that's a good idea, right? Yeah.
And then
instead of having the whole float system and all that, you know what I mean? Like it does create a bit of drag. I remember like back in the day, we'd never used to have reels.
Yeah.
So you'd have your most of the time it was like a 25 meter or whatever. And, you know, like you're diving 20s and a bit of drag. You're always dragging that float around.
Yeah, drag.
You're kind of swimming down. It probably makes it more dangerous in a way. You know what I mean? Like you're struggling a little bit more just to get to the bottom and stuff like that. So with those marker buoys, it's a great idea.
Yeah, definitely. And and then if something does happen, you can always like grab that marker ball and pull it up, and you know it's on a solid ring on the belt reel.
Yeah,
and you can
exactly.
bring their body back up.
Yeah.
But I was gonna also touch on like I have lost my brother as well. That was when I started diving, but I dove with my brother a bit on the sunny coast growing up and that, and then he's come over here and he built our house over here. But we dove a fair bit together. There's a year between us, but anyway, he ended up dying spearing maybe 6-7 years ago now. But he was just diving by himself on the sunny coast at like a spot that we get like pearlies and that. And he'd dive in this ledge in like, it was like 24s to the bottom. And he was diving there by himself. He'd actually taken out a fella that was, he used to just like take random crew out that were kind of like, he thought needed help or wanted to have a good day out in the water, just pick some people.
Get him away from life.
Get him away from life without struggling and take him out. But this fella that he took out was fella that, he just wanted to take out, he was going to fish while he dove. And anyhow, he was fishing and my brother was diving. And he ended up getting muzzle wrapped. I didn't know at the time, but some boys from the sunny coast, I was over here when it actually happened, wasn't diving, he was just diving by himself obviously, but he ended up having a blackout and ended up, the John Stewart and Jeremy Littler, they heard all the commotion on the radio. They're on the sunny coast at the time. I ended up meeting and become friends with them. I dive with them a bit now. They're good lads. But they scooted out on that day and actually ended up jumping on. They found his boat with the fella that was fishing, and they jumped on the boat and looked at the sounder and found out where he'd been diving. And they went and actually driving along, and they felt, we need to dive here, and they dove. It was dirty hours that day. It was diving too, and they swam down and actually found his body on the bottom of the on the bottom there, and they recovered him. They clipped the float and brought him up, but it was long. It was too far gone. It'd been a few hours or so, but I ended up I got back over there like a day later, and I ended up going out there and finding, just putting a bit of closure to it because he didn't have a belt. They dropped his weight belt, and I wasn't sure because I didn't speak to the boys. I wasn't sure if he'd maybe dropped his weight belt because he knew he was struggling, and he released his weight belt. Yeah. But I went out the next day and dove it, and I found his weight belt on the bottom. But I found out the boys had actually dropped his weight belt.
To get him back up. Yep.
And I found his gun as well. That was completely muzzle wrapped. There was and he had a completely bent shaft. I'd say he'd probably shot like a big kingy or something there, because we used to get kingies on that ledge as well. And just like a closed muzzle just kind of got completely wrapped up the line in the end of his gun, in his rubbers, and he's tried to spool out his reel, and that's also jammed up because that was all tangled around the actual reel as well. So he just got full locked, and it's that fine line of like, do I let go of the gun, or you reckon you can fight it to get it to the top? And it's such a
and it happens so
situation.
often, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, most of the time you think, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can get back. Even if it is a muzzle wrap, I can still probably pull it to the surface. You know what I mean? Like, But that is the fine line of going in between, of going, is the gun and the reel and the spear worth, you know what I mean, pushing it forward, and really you just go, it's I've done it heaps of times, you know what I mean, I've gone, I'm not going to lose my gun. But it's like, man, it's better than losing your life, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's that mind frame of just going, I think we're so attached to money. You know what I mean? Like, it's a money thing. It's like, that it cost me this. It's not, if it was a $50 gun, you'd let it go.
You just let it go.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's $50.
Yeah.
But even if you've got money, it's the money thing of going, I'm going to get it back to the surface. I don't want to lose my gun. And I've done it heaps of times that I've gone, I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? You get back to the surface and you start, you know what I mean? You start going, so that was super close, and it goes, not worth it.
It happens.
Should have just let it go,
even comes to like chasing fish as well. Like I think probably most divers are pretty guilty for it. Like you've been down for a while and you see something good and you're like, oh,
I'll be right.
I'll be right.
Yeah,
Are you
so
going to be
true.
right or not? Because
Yep.
like you don't get a second chance.
Exactly. Yeah.
So sometimes you just got to see a good fish and go, that's all good. I'll just leave it.
Yeah, that's
and
it. Come back to the surface, breathe up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, have your surface time.
But yeah, there's no real second chances in diving.
No, that's it, eh?
Definitely, is a very dangerous sport.
Yeah, it just it kind of puts that thing on just to go and always try and dive. You know what I mean? Always dive with someone if you can. Yeah,
Always dive with somebody. Always, be prepared to let go and lose gear if you need to let go and lose stuff. And diving with float lines if it's dirty, so you can know where somebody is going to come up.
100%. Yeah. Because I remember Benny doing it, obviously, when we went to, I think it was Long and that one.
Yeah.
Or just past Long, we went up and it was real dirty and we were shitting those jacks and that.
Yeah.
And he goes, we're going to start wearing a thing. And I was like, that's a great idea because it's like that thing, man. If most of the time, even like when I dove the other day, it's like, it was dirty and it's like you literally come up and you would swim along the bottom like 15 metres.
Yeah.
I don't know where you are coming back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just follow the bubble trails. Like, I was around here somewhere and then I like roughly, and you go, oi, and then I'm like, oh, he's that way. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard.
It is very hard.
Like even in that 20 meters or whatever, you know what I mean, when it is a bit dirty, it's so hard to keep a track on someone.
Yeah. No, it is very tricky. Yeah, and it's also makes it more relaxing for your dive buddy too.
Yeah, you're not freaking out. You're meant to be breathing up for your dive, and you're just going, where is he? Where is he?
I know I've scared Benny a few times, and probably a few other people, but yeah, just like it's definitely tricky. Like. Yeah, if somebody's been down for a while and you're like, they should be up now.
Where are
then
they?
You got to dive next, but you're so worried about where they are.
Exactly right, yeah.
No.
But it'd be definitely worth doing some of those little marker buoys up and just have them in your dive bag.
Yeah.
Or have them on the boat, or, you know what I mean? If it's dirty, you just go, chuck it on.
Yeah.
Takes 2 seconds, can save your life, really, can't it? So.
Can, yeah. But I'm sure we're all guilty of it at some point, eh?
Oh, definitely, mate, yeah.
Yeah, I think we had one where Marcus Longhurst, we had him and his missus at the time, Emmy, and Lewald on the pod.
Oh, yeah.
And Marcus had saved every one of us from sandbar or a shallow water blackout, like within the last 3 years.
Yeah, I remember listening to that pod, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, like that stuff, if you're pushing it, stuff's going to happen.
Yeah.
You just got to be, hope for some luck, but also be as prepared as you can.
Yeah, have good divers around you pretty much, isn't it? Yeah, or people that are aware of it, that are always watching you. And
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But it's also the thing of, like, a lot of the times you like, when someone reads, like, services, you go, oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and heaps of times that happens, and you go, oh, it's all good, and then, you know what I mean, they might not be good on. And I've done it heaps of times. I've come up to the surface and I've sandbarred, like, going, like, oh, and then you come good.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, no one's looking at you because you're to that thing of going, he's made it to the surface, you know what I mean? And that's usually where it happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most of the time it's where it happens. And I think it's that mind plays that little trick on you, like, and I've obviously had it when I thought I had breathed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I hadn't.
Yeah.
And it's just that thing of going, you think in your head, you're thinking you're fine. You go, no, I'm at the surface, I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's when it usually happens, when you go, that's when you obviously, you don't take the in-breath, or, you know what I mean, you've exhaled and not inhaled.
Yeah.
And that's when the mind just goes, oh, I'm switching off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right on the limit pretty much, aren't you?
Yeah. No, yeah. It's definitely a fine line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, Squirrel Dog, to add, or are you happy with that?
Nah, not really. Pretty.
We've gone for over an hour. We've done pretty well.
Yeah.
You'll be able to cut a bit of this out and edit it a bit squirrely.
Yeah. I'll just cut me out of most of it, I reckon.
I didn't even know you were still there for a bit there. Actually, I was like, "Is my phone still on? What's going on here?"
Nah. Any chance I get to keep my voice out of ruining everything, I'll do.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
No, good stuff. All right, Squirrel Dog, we'll leave you to it, mate. We'll thanks for chumming up.
Yeah.
Nah,
Thanks,
cheers,
Squirrely.
boys.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah.
Catch you, lads.
See you, mate. Bye. Happy days, big horse.
Sweet, mate.
I think we're done.
Sounds good, yeah.
Well, we'll have to get you on another time. I have to start doing some trips now. Get my boat up here as well. So we'll do some camping missions and
definitely, yeah. No, that'd be good, eh?
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good getting your little boat up here.
Yeah, I'm hanging for it, eh?
Family camp trips and that, eh?
Yeah, for sure. sneaking away from dive missions.
Yeah, leave the family on the island.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You've got a boat there if you need it. We're going to take the other one.
Yeah, got 2 out there. So.
No, good stuff.
That'd
Well,
be
cheers for coming on, Davo. We appreciate
Yeah.
it, mate, and we'll have to get you on another time. And
Yeah, no, thanks for having us.
no, anytime, buddy. Cheers, cheers for chumming up.
Yep. Cheers. Thank
See you, buddy. Bye.
See ya.
Oh my god, what the fuck is happening right now? Dolphin in the killer whale's mouth? Holy shit. Oh, this is the best day of my life, God. What?
I like going down the pond chasing bluegills and tommy cocks.